That's why when you wash your face, you just kind of get the job done, brush your teeth, walk away. Because you don't want to see just the reality, the harsh reality of where you're at with no filter. And in this moment, she got to just hear it, unfiltered. You know what actually led me to this story and what was so powerful that day 3 weeks ago is because the reason I came upon this is I had been studying, all these verses about mirrors. I'm like Googling, when did mirrors, when were they invented? And I'm finding out the coolest things, right? About mirrors have actually been around for a really long time. And in 1 Corinthians 13, it talks about mirrors. We're gonna talk about that in a little bit. There was mirrors made out of different metals that you could see yourself. But even before then, even in the Chinese language, the word translated for mirror was actually a tub of water. Because, right? Water was the first mirror. Because God made it that way. And at this day, when I'm trying to find in the scriptures, when did someone see themselves in a mirror? I realized something crazy. She did. Every day at noon, by herself in the harsh sun. As she went to this well, every single day alone, didn't want anyone around her to see her because of the way that her life was. As she leaned over the well that she was dependent on, that she had to come to because she was thirsty and she did need water, she would have had to lean over that well as the sun hit it at just the right angle as she pulled up the water. And no doubt she would have caught a reflection of herself every single day. And I just wonder what she thought when she saw herself. Because honestly, I bet she was beautiful. She'd been married 5 times, and here a 6th man is with her, sleeping with her, not committing to be her husband, but saw something in her. I'm sure she was beautiful, but I'm sure she didn't feel that way because she was a Samaritan. She was a woman. She was unclean, she was impure, she was all these things, and she had been divorced 5 times. And back in the day, in that custom, only men could divorce women. It couldn't be the other way around. So 5 men said, you're not good enough for me. And they could divorce women for absolutely any reason, even as small as burning the bread, they could divorce them for anything. And 5 men said, you're not good enough, and left her. And here she is with the 6th man who isn't willing to love her. And yet every single day, even if she is beautiful, I'm sure that's the last thing she feels as she's alone. And I just thought, man, how far have we come? How far have we come from the original design? God made the first mirror. Actually, if you go all the way to Genesis, I don't have this on the screen. I wasn't necessarily planning on reading out loud, but I want you to hear exactly how it is. You don't have to throw this up. You can just listen. Genesis chapter 2, it says, and the Lord God planted a garden in Eden and in the east, and there he put the man whom he had formed. And out of the ground, the Lord made it spring up every tree that is pleasant to the sight and good for food. The tree of life was in the midst of the garden. The tree of the knowledge of good and evil, as Lisa talked about, was in the tree. And then verse 10, a river flowed out of Eden to water the garden. And there it divided and became 4 rivers. And then it goes in verse 15, the Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to work it and keep it.